Hi guys, I'm Phil O'Neill from Australia, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Let me just adjust this microphone. Thanks for joining me today. As you can tell, we're in a bit of quarantine start of mode, and I'm just kind of doing some practice sessions and answering some questions and showing you guys how I structure my practice so that I can play good trumpet, essentially. So, I've been noticing a couple of you guys have been checking it out, and it's just been a random thing. And I just really wanted to hang out with some people because it's a bit of an isolated time for everyone. So here I get to do some trumpet, I get to hang out with some cool dudes, and I get to see what you guys are working on and get to learn about whoever's out there in trumpet land. So, yeah, thanks for joining in. If you've got any questions, let me know in the comments. But more importantly, I want you to say good day. If you are here, say good day. I'd love to hear from where you are from. And I want to hear in the comments what album you are listening to at the moment. So, what is your current favorite album? Any style, any artist, doesn't matter. Leave a comment below. So, two questions. Where are you from? What is your current favorite album? So, I'm going to get stuck into some practice. If you want to join along, feel free. We can work through some stuff together. I'm going to start with some lead pipe buzzing. If you don't know what lead pipe buzzing is, it is where you take the main tuning slide out of your trumpet, empty all the gargle, and you just play on the lead pipe as such. All right, give it and just going to start with some long tones. Cool. So, what I'm aiming for here is a nice, good, relaxed breath in time, and a good, clean articulation, and then a note which is in the middle of the lead pipe. So, I'm middling the instrument and playing as efficiently as possible. So, the way I achieve that is I count myself in, and then I take a breath on beat 4, so I breathe in time, and then I play my note in and aim for the most relaxed and open sound I can possibly make. Then I hold it for 4 beats, take 4 beats off, breathe in on beat 4 again, play it for 4 beats. And I'm practicing the starting and stopping. I want a good clean breath in, I want a good clean articulation, and I want to stop in time as well. So I'm starting and stopping all the time. Cool. I'm just trying to find a good spot for this microphone. Cool. Now I'm going to add, going to try and extend my notes. I'm going to go 4 beats on, 4 beats off, add another bar. So I'll be two bars on, 1 bar off, 3 bars on. Yep, do that. Air control. All right. right, cool. So if you're just joining the live stream now, I got two questions for everyone. I'd like to, just want to say g'day to you thanks for joining. The first question is, where are you from? And the second question is, what album are you currently listening to at the moment? So what is your current favorite album? Any band, any artist, any genre, doesn't matter. I just want to hear what you guys are listening to so that I can find something new for me to listen to. All right, cool. On with the lead pipe buzzing. This is my last exercise. So the last one I did just an F major scale ish, starting on the F, going down to the B flat. Now I'm just going to do bends essentially, so where I go from the F down to the B flat and up to the F again, and just trying to make it a nice glissando all the way down and up. All right, cool. Now I'm going to move on to some mouthpiece buzzings. What I normally like to do, I normally start with lead pipe and then move on to mouthpiece. Now, the whole goal of both of these is just to get the air moving and to start thinking about pitch, to start thinking about the air moving nicely, thinking about getting a good sound on these, because good sound means you got good airflow, pretty much. Practicing getting starting, practicing getting stopping as well. So just working on it from here. I have this awesome little buzzing gadget that I like to use, which is called the Up Sound. It's one of my favorite buzzing products, and initially when I got it, I thought this was just going to be a waste of money, but I tried it every day for a month or two, and then it wasn't until I had to start doing a couple of gigs without any warm-up, and I'm normally a big warm-up kind of guy, but I had to do a couple of gigs where the only warm-up I got was using this doodad in the car, and I still managed to play and feel like I played really well. So since then, this has been part of my daily practice, and I swear by it. So go and check that one out if you've got time to check it out. It's made in Spain. I'm pretty sure they're made in Spain. The company's from Spain, so yeah. Anyway, on to some mouthpiece buzzing. give me a tick. My kids are at the door. Hang on. I'm making video for people. All right. Yeah, I know, but I'm a bit busy at the moment. Okay, off you go. I'll play with you when I'm finished. Off you go.
But I just want to.
I know, but you can't sing. All right. How many of you guys have got kids? Anyone there got kids and get the same sort of interruptions when you practice? Makes things a bit interesting, doesn't it? Out of the way. Off you go. All right, for those of you who were tuning in yesterday, You'll know that my first session of the day, the upper range is really poor for me. It's normally not until my second session of the day that I start going above into the upper register. So, good thing I never have any 8 o'clock in the morning gigs where I have to play right up there. So, probably a good thing. All right, so just going up there, just touching on the upper register. Um, Once again, this is warming up. This is preparing to play. So obviously, you can hear that is not ready to play, but it's just touching on the upper register. Now, it's feeling a bit rubbish for me at the moment. So I'm going to move on from here onto some note bends, right? So just to kind of refocus the airstream and make sure I'm using airspeed to change through notes rather than using my aperture or adjusting my lips to change through notes. So I'm going to do some note bends and then move on from there. All right, cool. So, anyone who tuned in yesterday, you know that we worked on flexibility. And that was our primary focus of yesterday. Today, all right, I don't want to play the same stuff that I worked on yesterday. I want to work on something different from my playing. So today I'm going to work on tonguing and articulation. So obviously there's not enough hours in the day, even with this coronavirus kind of keeping us all locked up at home. As you saw earlier, I had my kid interrupt, and so I like to spend time with them as well. But if I change what I work on every day, it means that I can improve my playing without having to play the same stuff every single day sort of thing. So I don't want to get bored with what I'm playing. I want to change it up. I want to make it more interesting. Hey Ace, how you doing? So the questions for today, which obviously I already know, where are you from and what is your current favorite album? So today we're working on tonguing. All right. Now I'm just going to go through, I'm going to start really basic today because I took basically the last 2 weeks where I haven't done any practice whatsoever because I have been trying to move all of my school teaching from a in face-to-face kind of platform through to an online platform. So that's been taking up a lot of time, and there's been a lot of stress with where my income's going to come from, obviously because we've shut everything down and every single gig that I've had has been cancelled. So I've been trying to figure out what my way of life is going to look like until this is done. So this is me getting back into it. Obviously, this is literally day 2 for me. Just turn my phone off. All right, cool. So on the tonguing. So I'm going to start with basic stuff and move on from there. So, had to go and fix that, okay? Now, make sure that when you're practicing exercises, don't forget that you actually want to make them sound good whilst you're also challenging yourself to play better. Hey, Ace, before I forget, how's the sound today? Is it better than yesterday? So obviously when I was doing G major and there was a lot of 1 and 3 to sort of movement and I was doing a bit of the bridge, obviously that wasn't as clean as the other ones, so I had to go back and fix that. So make sure that when you are playing exercises, you're actually still achieving goals and improving the playing and making it sound good. Don't just rush through them because then you defeat the purpose of actually working on them. You'll also notice that I'm actually playing these exercises really quickly, one after the other, so that I can push myself to what I call short-term fatigue. Awesome. Thanks, Ace. So try and push myself to short-term fatigue. Short-term fatigue doesn't just mean my feeling chopped out. It also means that I'm pushing so that my tongue is worn out as well. So I want to really wear out the tongue. All right, continuing on. Shocking. All right, that is my worst one yet. That was pretty bad. So I'm actually going to do that one again, and I'm going to go slower, and I'm going to do each line by itself, and I'm going to try and work it slowly and try and work it up a bit faster because this one was really bad. It's my worst one so far, so let's fix it, and I'll show you how I fix it. So you can hear that the second valve and then the open one were my two weakest ones for today. So I would actually mark those for today. And then tomorrow, even though tomorrow I'm going to work on something else, I would I would play through those two and practice those two tomorrow. Just spend a couple of minutes and polish those up from today, because part of the reason I'm struggling with them today is I haven't practiced, as I said earlier. And the other part of the reason is that I'm getting that short-term fatigue is starting to kick in, and it makes it harder for me to get through this sort of thing. So that's as good as I'm going to get that today, and that's fine because I've improved on that skill. I will mark that, and then tomorrow I'll come back and do those two again. All right, but I'm going to move on, do one more before I finish. Oh, two more. If you guys have got any questions as well, like, feel free to type them. Happy to answer any questions if you guys got questions. All right, so. All right. Why does my trumpet have four valves? Okay. Well, my trumpet has four valves because it's really cool. I guess. No, it actually extends my low register by an extra fourth. And because of the good folks at Stomvy have made this so well, if I extend my first valve and third valve slides while I play 1, 2, 3, and 4, it actually gets me all the way down to what we call the pedal C, but it actually turns them into real notes. So if I just use my three valves, I can get down to the low F sharp, which is like this. But then if I want to use the fourth valve, it gives me what we call the pedal. So pedal F through to pedal C. And that's why I have the fourth valve. So the fourth valve works in that. It also adds some extra alternative fingerings that I can use for other things as well. So it helps me with that, and I can bring other notes into some better tuning. For argument's sake, instead of playing D in the stave as 1, if it's a bit flat, I can put it on fourth because 1 and 3 is a bit sharp, a bit too sharp, but it works this way. So that works really well as well. So like I find that sometimes if I'm fatigued and I'm not playing that D in tune, putting it on fourth works really well, and it doesn't make it sound really any worse. So, yeah, I hope that answers your question. All right, last tonguing exercise for the day. And this one's usually a shambles. Whoa. All right, cool. As you can hear there, that is definitely throwing my tongue into what I call short-term fatigue. And the whole purpose of that exercise is for me to smash my tongue and finish off whatever is left. And now it is completely spent. So, yeah, as I said, yesterday I worked on flexibility. Today I worked on tonguing. And tomorrow is going to be valves, I think. Valves is tomorrow's list. So come back tomorrow. I don't know what time I'm going to get on. It's going to depend on what I'm doing with my kids. But I will get on tomorrow, and I'll show you guys some valve exercises and work on from there. Any last questions before I sign off? Too easy. Now, just before I forget, now because of this coronavirus thing, I normally would, in videos like this, put in a bit of a sales pitch for a membership site that I have, but I'm not going to do that because all musicians all over the world are hurting quite badly. So I'm not going to do that. But what I am going to do is give free access for the remainder of this coronavirus to the membership group. Which is a Facebook group. If you go onto Facebook and do a search for Phil's Trumpeting Members, it will appear, and I will give every person free access to that group for the remainder of this pandemic until it is cleared. So you won't get the exercises, which is also part of the membership, but you'll get a taste of what we're doing in the community chat and what goals we're setting in there. So go and check that out. Phil's Trumpeting Members. It is a closed group, so go and accept it there. Tell them that you, or put in the request that you saw this video here, and I will accept everyone for free from now until the end of the pandemic. Anyway, time for me to sign off. I've got to go spend some time with my kids, and then I'll come back to my own private practice a bit later. But as always, I'm Phill O'Neill from Australia, and happy practicing.